Hitsuguya, you certainly took your Wheatabix this morning, because suddenly, out of nowhere, you got hench. You were flexing their muscles, you were going in there, and I gotta say, that was something I was not really expecting too much in the chapter. I was like, you know, I'm going to wake up this morning and go, hey, you know what Hitsuguya really needs and all that, after like the whole Kenpachi Bankai, he needs to look more like an adult. I was like, yeah, that's what the case is. So, unfortunately, as I was saying last week, I was like, yeah, the Gerard fight's done. We're done with him. Yeah, that didn't seem to be the case and all that, because he just realised, hey guys, I got a vault standing, you know, I'm just going to activate it, which I thought was weird, since every time we've seen a vault standing, it's been, I'm going to use my wings, which, to be fair, we've already seen him with his wings out, and a lot of people were saying that he already had his vault standing activated, and that's just pretty much how it was. But no, he has actually, like, his true, like, vault standing, where he has, like, two kind of, like, angelic wings, he has a sword, he just has, like, this giant fucking helmet thing that looks like a beard and mustache as well together. And the one thing that just, I literally, like, I say, like, what I was a bit iffy about the chapter with, is, like, okay, like, yeah, he's showing his, like, strength and all that, but the fact of the matter is, like, Kenpachi gets his fucking, like, arm hanging by a dandum, and, like, Yachu, or his Sanbok-Tosphere, I should say, is like, oh, you used a bit too much power and all that, and it seems like your body isn't strong enough to... And it seems like your body is not strong enough to withstand me yet. And he just fucking slashes him and all that, and he's like, you know, pretty much fucked up. He's pretty much, and he's like, oh yeah, you breathe and all that. It's like, what the hell's going on? Like, and he's like slashing and going at him, and he's like, oh, like this is the point of it where it's like Kuchiki's like, yeah, you gotta like release that Bankai, you're at your limit. And he's like, no, that's not the case. I don't ever recall saying that my last petal of my like ice was like the end of it. In fact, once it disappears is when like Yorimaru has finally matured, and that's where you see that picture come from, where Hitsuguya has just suddenly turned into an adult, and he's like, oh, it's reached its full maturity, and I'm like, wait, what? It's like, I'm sorry, what? Now, here's the thing with this and all that, because, like, a lot of people's calling it bullshit, a lot of it's, like, saying, oh, what the fuck's with this, like, how does this make any fucking sense? My guess, honestly, about this is that this is probably what Kubo had in mind through a time skip version of Hitsuguya. It's like, oh, he didn't want it, since like Hitsuguya is one of the most popular characters, he was like, oh, this could go fucking wrong in so many ways, like piss off the fans like that. If it's like, oh, I just like had this more, it honestly looks like it's more catering just for like the like Fujoshi kind of fans that are like massive like Hitsuguya fanboys. That's just what it looks like. I'm not knocking the design, to be fair. I think like out of like all of them, I think Hitsuguya actually looks pretty badass as an adult. I think he actually like, that kind of suits him. I feel it like in a time skip world, and it just randomly is like comes out of nowhere, while throughout the entire thing it's like, oh yeah, we've been learned that, yeah, once like the last petal of my like Bankai is gone, that's it, like, you know, I'm fucking done. And a lot of the time that was assumed just to the case because like Hitsuguya was a very powerful fucking captain. We already knew that from the start. I mean, the fact that he like, even though he didn't have complete control of it, even when he had his Bankai state when he was going against Haribel and he was just making like little charges going down and making it rain ice, like even still I felt that was kind of like, yeah, there's the kind of thing, it's like it has its positives and its negatives. It's one of the strongest ice slaves on Paktos there is, just straight up, but it's like, that's why, but even as well, it has its, like, differences. It's like, I can use this, like, amazing power for a very long time, but, like, the problem is like, yeah, I lose it. So, honestly, the whole point of, like it just saying, like, oh, it comes out of full maturity, like, it's cool. It takes so much away from, like, Kenpachi doing his Bankai, and I think at this point we probably ain't gonna hear anything for it for a while, I imagine. It's like, oh, there goes like all of like Kenpachi's like kind of like hype, and this is what everyone was saying during the whole Yororichi moment, because oh, Yororichi suddenly gets like taken out and all that, and then here comes a certain character that happens to deal with this situation. Like I'm not more like annoyed with it because it's like I like Hitsuguya. Hitsuguya is like one of my favorite out of all the captains, but it just feels a little bit weird that Kenpachi's Bankai is supposed to be this such monumental moment in the series, and it kind of feels like it's being swept away. Plus, this is me also coming from the other side where I'm like, I was thinking like, oh my god, yeah, like the Gerard fight is done. And then coming into this one, it's like, oh, fuck off, Gerard. That's just how it is. It's just like, I'm kind of already done with this character. I'm like, yeah, like, you've got your kind of entertainment's worth out of me already. I kind of don't want to see more of him. I don't know, I'm gonna let you leave it to you guys about that. I'm kind of iffy about it. Design-wise, I think it looks cool. I think an adult Hitsuguya looks really cool. I still think, though, that should have been a time skip thing. They should have been like, oh, his fucking balls just dropped, happened, like, this time, like, after 2 years. I mean, Gerard coming back, like, just regenerating from the half, like kind of being literally cut in half. Yeah, that is kind of cool doing that. But it's like, Gerard's not really, I don't find him that interesting compared to Askin. I don't like he's powerful, don't get me wrong, but he's like, I think he's lacking a lot what kind of Askin was, and I feel like that isn't even just the comedy part. I feel like Askin left more of an impression on me, I feel like, because he was more talkative and he had a lot more going on with his character than just, I'm going to serve the king, wahahaha, I'm strong. So, I'm kind of very indifferent about this chapter, but I don't hate it. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into like a whole Kenpachi rant again, just like last time. This time, I'm like, there are parts I like. I feel like the whole little ice shard thing, it was like about, oh, it's finally reached maturity, it's cool, but it feels like, wow, that took a lot away from Kenpachi's fucking moment. But then it's like, oh, you got to think about it, he's new to his Bankai, he can't control it. But then you could say the same thing for Rukia. Rukia activated her Bankai for the first time, and she was able to like defeat Asnot, and even though she couldn't even control it that well, was still able to defeat the opponent, although this is an elite compared to what Asnot was. Which, by the way, Asnot is a way fucking more cooler character than this. I think I said that many times. I think like Asnot, Bambietta, Bazby, a whole bunch of those like early Stern Ritters that we got, I honestly think they should have just been elites. So honestly, I'm not going to give a score for this one this week, because like the thing, I'm indifferent about it, because I'm still, at to this point, I don't know whether or not I like this chapter or not. So I'm going to leave that up to you, because there are moments I do like about it, and it does make sense on the whole, like, Kenpachi Bankai part, that it's like, oh, like, he's, like, still used to it, he's, like, this is his first time activating it, and obviously, his is a lot more different situation than what Rukia's is, because Rukia's, she just has hard control. Kenpachi literally loses control, and obviously that there's supposed to be more power coming out of it, and just, like, I think it's just that, and the combination of that is, like, visual-wise, he's probably got one of the most lackluster, like, Bankais. Leave it at that, though, because, like I said, I do enjoy good parts of this chapter, though, but then as well, I had some situations, so I'm looking forward to more of you guys, because I feel like you guys in the comment section are going to have a lot more of an interesting conversation than probably what I can bring up in this video. But let me know if you like the chapter or not. Like I said, I'm in the middle with it at the moment, so, like, at the moment, the current score for it, like I said, I can't judge it and all that, because like, like saying it like, oh, it's in the middle for me, like, oh, 5, that's not really what I'm trying to say. Or like, I'm on the verge of like, do I think this is an 8, or do I think this is like kind of a bit stupid, or is it just okay, or like, you know what I mean. Thank you very much for watching as always, and if you're a little bit more peculiar about Bleach than I am, then you hit that like and you hit that subscribe. But that's all from me, so I'll catch you guys next time.